Okay. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever word you're living in. This is we're here, Bunter TV, like we do every Sunday. It's November 24th, 2024. And welcome to another round of Hot Topics. And you're talking to me, of course, Saturday. Did I say Saturday? Okay, my brain is everywhere. This Sunday, my name is Kalinda Shichinda. I'm out here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let me bring in my other co-dependents. I'm kidding. Co-hosts. Let's start with you, Vavuzelas. Max, if you do your Vavuzelas, please, and then we go to my bro Mitch here.
Yeah, sister. I'm the dependent here. To the Havana, we're dependent.
I say defendants. Defendants, not dependents. Defendants.
Oh,
You are defending your opinion.
Okay, yeah. Well, defenders, yeah, that's acceptable. We defend the democracy of Zambia in Africa at large. Okay, the name is Thunder Ethiopia, broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. Depending on where you're watching us from, it could be the US, the UK, Australia.
Play around with your mic a little bit.
What's that?
Play around with your mic. You're zooming in and out. Your sound.
The sound is not great.
Now that's better. I think you need to. Your mic needs to be like next to your mouth, almost.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a skill. It's a skill.
Yeah, just align your mic like you're right talking like almost. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be using this word, but you're almost like kissing your mic. Say?
Yeah. So I don't know what sounds better now or what.
Yeah. Come on top. Push it up next to your mouth. You sound better when you put it like when it's almost like Try that.
Huh?
Much better.
It sounds better like this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, so of course I'm broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to the podcast that we usually have every Sunday. Of course, here, well, we are streaming from different
The spots.
Yeah, Palelo.
I want to feel super. Come on in. Like straight up. We can go up a little bit. Mike, put it. Push it up a little bit.
Where do you want it to be? I don't understand.
Let's see.
Vamisha, how can you hear me, Vamisha?
Try it now.
I'm talking right now. I mean, you can't
hear me. That's better.
What about you, Mitch? Are you listening to what I'm saying, or how is it sounding?
Your opinion, Mr. Mitch?
Well, my intro should be very simple. My name is Mr. Konka. I'm one of the latecomers to this game. I always find myself sometimes, when the game is already in the middle of it. But I've been lucky today to be the first one. What I didn't realize, however, was the fact that there are some intros that go on at the beginning. I do not have a definitive definition of myself. All I can say is that I'm obviously in alliance with the UPND and the supporter of this program, which I feel like pretty much breaks most stories that are just flying around in detail. And I believe this program can do or should be. So I'm happy to be here, and I believe there's only 3 participants in this, so we can go ahead as the topics looks pretty good.
Absolutely. No, they're usually, I mean, people join in along the way. You typically we start at 2 of us. Sometimes we start there 6 people. So
Are
it
you able to
changes
hear me?
every. Yeah, we can. But can you hear Mr. Sylvia now? Is the question.
Can you hear me?
I must have lost all of you. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, we
Can
Okay.
can
you
hear
hear
you.
Mr. Sylvia?
Yeah, I can hear you, all of you.
Okay, great.
Oh.
All right. So without wasting much of people's time, let's start with the podcast. And wow, wow! Like my favorite comedian out of Zambia says, like his comedy, he goes wow. So I'll start it from there. This week, we got information from Home Affairs Minister, Mr. Jack Sihunya Mwimbu, who announced to the nation that JJ Banda has been captured, and he was captured by Interpol in Zimbabwe, and they were making preparations, for him to be extradited back to Zambia. And then, of course, the opposition. I mean, I'll just say that the PF-led Lungu faction jumped on the bandwagon. I think the first day they were like, "Oh no!" They didn't know how to spin it. Of course, Mwamba had a good 8 hours sleep. The next day, they said it's impossible, nothing. And then they've been peddling that. And then we saw on Thursday, I think, the IG, Musamba, issuing a statement stating that the delay in bringing him back was because of this paperwork that they have to process. And he gave us the breakdown on how they were handling it and how it came to be. So now it's almost 6 days from the pronouncements, and we have, of course, the government saying he's in Zimbabwean authorities, and the opposition saying otherwise. So the question is this a hoax? Let's start with you, Mr. Zikonka, on JJ's capture. Is this a hoax, or it's just one of those things that has to play out?
Full disclaimer, it's interesting. I think I'm one of the few or only few people that live within the old ways. I do not have social media. I don't have Facebook. I do not have TikTok. I only have WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, with WhatsApp, and again, pretty much it's the only source of my knowledge of information that's flying around. If people don't post things, I just never know what goes on around the world. I don't know what goes on around anything. I did read about JJ's capture, and I said, "Is this true?" Somebody sent you, my sister. You sent something that what's the name? The Minister of Home Affairs was actually giving a press conference about that. Mm-hmm. I said, "Oh, okay." So that's my first source of information. Was the official one? Was yours? Mm-hmm. And then I don't have anywhere to read about it or even to find out anything more. However, I did look on YouTube and stuff like that just to say, let me really just get more information about this situation. Only to come out and to realize that, matter of fact, there's a lot more complicated things. There's so much talking there. There's this Simon Mansalane guy who talks. I like him a lot. He talks kind of funny in the presentation of his podcast and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I heard from his rendezvous of conversations, and another person who claimed something about she was human rights activist of some kind. Mm-hmm. So I think that lady really put in information that made me think that, oh, this is not as simple as it seems then. Mm-hmm. So evidently, she said JJ is somewhat considered a political refugee. So he ran away based on political persecution, according to what they're trying to do. So normally when she said, normally when things like that happen, other countries have treaties that they cannot really extradite anybody who is running away from persecution, regardless. So that's when I realized, whoa, this is not an easy thing. She may be right or wrong, I don't know. But all I know about this JJ is that I don't think it's as easy as it was put that is in extradition agreement or whatever. They're trying to process papers, whatsoever. I don't see it ending that way.
Okay.
Wow, wow.
That's
That's looking
Lufia.
at it at a different perspective. I mean, I didn't think of looking at it that way.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't either, my brother. I didn't. When I realized that, oh,
uh,
this is what it is, I realized,
okay.
well, that's probably true. It might
Well,
be that.
I don't know the treaty we have between Zambia and Zimbabwe when it
Mhm,
comes to extradition. Because who's this Chimakambwe was in a similar situation, but he was
mhm,
extradited to Zambia, right?
That's correct.
So, and looking at JJ Banda's case, I mean, of course, he may try to escape custody, and even
mhm.
this Lumpen Tayari was saying that, look, if JJ Banda is going to go back to Zambia, then he's a fool, okay? Because they know how they run away from persecution. Like
Mhm.
he's been running away for like almost a year now. He's been running away, and probably JJ Banda, because he likes his wife, he decided to stay close, which was in Zimbabwe. But again, here's the thing: why is Zimbabwe always in the mix of things when it comes to the opposition political leaders? Why are they always going to seek refuge in Zimbabwe? Why not Malawi? Why not the Congo? But just Zimbabwe, right? So this shows that, look, there is something sinister happening between Zambia and Zimbabwe. It might be a cold war, okay? It might be a cold war, but we just don't fully grasp and understand what's going on, because there's no way Zimbabwe can be harboring people like Kaiser Zulu. All these boys, they were there before they ran away and went overseas. Now JJ Banda, okay? It's well documented. We know that Kaiser Zulu is in Zimbabwe. Right now, maybe is no longer there anymore, but he was in Zimbabwe for a long time, right? But the Zimbabwean government has decided just to keep quiet or not to collaborate, or maybe who knows what's really going on, because if you listen to what their leader went to talk about Zambia when he met the Russian president, it seeks a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered here, because there's no way a leader of a foreign nation, you can go and sit down and talk about another country to a different leader in Europe, especially if this country was instrumental in helping you become independent. And then you just just go there and just talk about negatively about your neighbor. How neighborly is that? Like, really, like neighbors, we just on a home level. You should feel comfortable to go to your neighbor and ask for salt and ask for tomatoes. You see? Now, looking at Zimbabwe, how close we've been all these years. Why would we want to break all these relationships and families? There are a lot of Zimbabweans that live in Zambia. There are a lot of Zimbabweans that live in Zambians that live in Zimbabwe. Like, why you want to break this? Like, why would their president go and do that? So I'm just looking at it. I'm like, okay, fine, maybe it was a slip of a tongue or whatever it was. But why are there all these PF people running to Zimbabwe to seek refuge?
So my take on that is that you know, yes, it is true that they do. There may be some kind of a Cold War situation going on, some rivalry or whatever. This has been going on during Smith's time. Remember those days. So Zimbabwe has been in that realm of things with Zambia and stuff. We held Joshua Nkomo and other people that were like living in Lusaka, and they could never be extradited to Zimbabwe in the times of Kaunda. I don't remember much of the history. I was too young. This is what I just had read about. So This has been an ongoing thing. So what I feel like might be going on is that most of these so-called political prisoners or political people that are scared of persecution, they find Zimbabwe as a safe zone to go and actually hide from or be held. Yes, it is true that Kaiser Banda was, whatever, Kaiser Zulu is actually in Zimbabwe. That is a true fact. And you know what? We all know the crimes of Kaiser Zulu, and he should be pretty much be brought back home for prosecution. But he's never going to be let out. Yeah, and so it sounds to me like, um, Zimbabwe is safe to run to than running to Mozambique or anywhere else. Otherwise, they'll bundle you back and send you back. you know, Malawi, they would totally bundle you and bring you back over. So Zimbabwe is safe, and Zimbabwe has been acting like this for a long time. And we all know maybe the grudges that Kaunda was doing with them at the time Smith was in leadership, hosting all these guys, Mugabe and other people, and they could not be taken back home for prosecution. Maybe it's just coming back to full circle on us.
Can you explain on that one? What are you saying?
Go
Sorry?
ahead.
What are you saying? Yeah, can you explain more on that one? You're saying that they hold a grudge of what?
Yeah. There must be some of these hot grudges, but I'm sure there's some laws that actually really prevent these people from being sent home. And I'm sure if there are any Zimbabwean people that were like criminals that were running into Zambia, they cannot be sent over. But then they are amplified by the current government to use them. Like, no, we can't because of this. Like little slimy laws that are unnecessary or some kind, or human rights, whatever. Those things that don't even exist when something happens. Somebody can kill somebody and run in there, and they will be still protected. But the thing is, they cannot be sent back home because those little laws are being used to protect them by Zimbabwe intentionally to hurt us, if you wanna call it that way.
Okay, so but you mentioned the grudge. Like, what grudge is it that is there?
Now, like I said, we don't know what grudge it is. I don't know personally, but like I said, this is not a new thing. This has been going on. 1980. What grade I was? I should have been first grade or maybe just before first grade myself. 1980 and all that kind of time before what's his name, Mugabe came into being in leadership. Before that, 1979, 78, going downhill, there was the Smith and Zambian war. Remember that Zimbabwe war? If you ever read about it, I read about it. And during that time, a whole lot of Zimbabwean political prisoners or political people were running out of Zimbabwe and were finding themselves housed in Lusaka. And Lusaka was not releasing them for any reason. Kaunda was not releasing them.
Okay.
It was really, even when they needed to be released for being prosecuted, he wasn't letting them go. He was protecting them. So those things, it's a history that has been built over years to come to this point, where now somehow it's still being used. In fact, what's his name, Mnangagwa or whatever, that guy. This guy grew up in our village, Vakachin. This guy
yes,
grew up there. He went with my older brother to school. They grew up here in our village. He grew up in Zambia as a refugee of political persecution. So
that's my point, Vamich. That's my point. I'm saying, like, look, him being a president of Zimbabwe right now, why would he want to talk ill about Zambia that protected him, that educated him, all right, and kept his family? Some of his families are still in Zambia right now. Why would he go against the norm and just go and talk to you about Zambia? And why would he, okay, if he's a true leader, okay, seem to be affiliated with an opposition party and protect their members when they come to seek refuge in Zimbabwe? He should be neutral. You should just be thinking of Zambia as a country, not Zambia as Edgar Lungu or Zambia as HH. Because at the end of the day, Zambia is what made what Zimbabwe is today. If it wasn't for Zambia, Zimbabwe wouldn't be where it is. So they need to start going down and read the details and say, look, what grudge is it? That's what I was saying. Like, what is it? Like, what did we do wrong? Okay, apart from doing right, apart from educating, he lived in your village. He's got children, he's got cousins, he's got nieces, he's got his family. Half of his family still live in Zambia up to today. So what is the grudge?
Well, that's a good question, but this is how I could answer it. We are speaking on the layman's term of being an outsider and as a citizen who just consumes information based on what we see. These people in political circles have even more in-depth things that they are so far against each other, that the countries are so far against each other that we don't know. So when it comes to that, it could be a negotiating tool or a negotiating tactic. Maybe we don't know. There are some Zimbabweans or some business or whatever, whatever it is, some agreement that needs Zambia to do. It could be some electricity issue. It could be, who knows? We don't know. And then they're just holding, if you want us to do, like the same way Russians did here. They had all these Americans held on in Russia, and then they negotiated to release some political prisoners like criminals. We don't know what goes on diplomatically underneath it. So as consumers of the news, we are sitting outside and looking in and just seeing, why can't you do this? We did this for you. You grew up in our country. You had all this peace, and now you're a president of that. Instead of doing this for us, I think there's some more information that we may not have an idea about. That's how I can say it. There's a reason why I don't even think it's Chagwalungu's favor they're doing. I think it's just some other stupid stuff. These politics sometimes can drive you nuts.
Yeah, let me come in here and play a devil's advocate. I'd like to say maybe it's premature for us to really put a lead on it and say, okay, the Zimbabweans are hoarding or protecting JJ Banda until the wind dies down. I mean, so far we're being told there's certain documentation that have to be processed between Zimbabwe and Zambia through Interpol. Why don't we wait until that process is over? That's one. Two, or if somebody's lying, you can only lie for for so many days or hours or years, but then your lie is going to be laid bare at some point. That's another one. And for me, I'd like to say that whether Mnangagwa has too many problems right now. I mean, I don't know if you people have been reading on Zimbabwean politics. Mnangagwa has too many problems to deal with his army than to actually protect JJ. That's the way I'm looking at it, because Mnangagwa, as we speak, he's at the fight of his life. He gave his word to the army that he will only rule for 2 terms. After that, he's supposed to, hand over powers of instrument to the next one. He's trying to hold on. The next one was supposed to be the army commander or general, whoever they have there. And now that that army general are fighting for dominance. Do you honestly think Mnangagwa has time to look at JJ's Banda's warfare as a fag? And also we have to remember that Zimbabwe as a signatory to an international treaty. I mean, whether you run away to a next country and file for refugee status, if you're a criminal, you're a criminal. They'll send you back. They do it over here in the U.S. with these gangs that are coming out of Mexico or those South American countries. They send them back as soon as it's discovered. So that's what I think is happening here. So I would say let's just wait and see what happens. How about we bring in Lady Sarah? Maybe she may have one. I know JJ is one of our favorite topics. Lady Sarah, you have anything to say, or are you going to stand on just listening in the background?
For now, I'm listening, and that JJ thing, it's okay.
Okay.
JJ is a headache.
She's getting a headache out of it.
He
Have a
can
glass
just
of
give me a
wine,
headache.
sis.
JJ kumusula fe. Yeah.
Have a glass of wine, sis. You'll be all right.
I know.
Yeah.
JJ is a headache.
These politicians, abayo tuwaempanga.
Okay. Yeah, personally, that's what I have to say on the JJ issue. I don't think really it might. Let's also remember that African governments, okay, maybe African government per se, are never loyal to one regime.
No.
African governments are always loyal to the party in government.
Yeah.
I don't see Mnangagwa still holding on Lungu's hands when he's in the opposition. I'm sure he's done his due diligence. Mnangagwa is busy fighting with his army general over who takes over Zimbabwe, because he wants to go for a third term and the army is saying no. So he doesn't have time for, JJ Banda and his criminal activities, and I would like to believe that if the Zimbabwean authorities contacted the Zambian government first, we did not contact them. This was generated by the Zimbabweans, not us. I would have suggested, maybe if it was generated by us, I would have said, yeah, maybe. But it came from Zimbabwe. If they are able to fish out Kabuswe, who is JJ? So I'm going to leave that over there. I'm going to leave it just like that. Unless somebody wants to comment on that. Before we move on to the next topic. Anybody?
No, JJ Banda has been exhausted.
JJ Banda is a political headache.
Yeah, so let's leave it there. He's a political headache. Anyway, anybody seen the ministerial statement on Mopani? That was read in Parliament by the Mines Minister Paul Kabuswe after a question that was brought to the House by the Nalomo, no, what's his name? Nalomo member of Parliament. I can't remember his name now, but I know he's the Nalomo member of Parliament questioning the validity of the Delta Mines Limited as raw in Mopani. Anybody?
I have not read it.
But
Yeah,
this is your favorite topic.
Yeah, I heard him ask. Nalolo member of parliament. What's his name? Wamunyima.
Yes, there you have it.
Yeah. So he asked a question, and this question has been asked by several people, especially in the opposition. Say, look, we want to know the details of the deal between Mopani and KCM and Mopani and ZCCMIH and the new people who are Delta, which is a subsidiary of is it RHM or RHM or whatever it's called?
IRH.
Yeah.
IRH.
So people want to know the details, right? And why does Zambia have 49% and they have 51%?
Right.
So that was the biggest question. That's the biggest concern. Why do we have less shares for us being an asset which was purely owned 100% Zambian, right? But why all of a sudden after this investment comes in, we're owning for only 49% and the investor owns 51% instead of the opposite? So according to what I've heard or read, or when he was speaking, when he was in the Northwestern Province, he touched a little bit on it. He said, look, this investment, there's nothing sinister about it. Because you have a mine, you own 100%, right? But it's not making any money and then not making any profit. And at the same time, you owe Glencore about what was it? What was it? How, was it 400 million? I forget. Glencore was owned about $400 million.
$1.5 billion is what Glencore owed.
No. We were owing Glencore. We're owing them $400 million.
No. It was before it was negotiated. It was 1.5
right.
billion. After the renegotiation, it came down to 400.
To 400 million. Mm-hmm. So now, when it reached to 400 million, of course, I mean, this investor came in and said, "Look, we're going to pay that for you." Instead of that money coming from the government of Zambia, it came from the investor. The investor themselves got that money, paid Glencore off, so that Glencore is out of the picture, right? So Glencore now is out of the picture. So now it's between the government right now and the investor. So it's just two people now. There are not three people. So which is bad? Like which is good? Why is it not good? Because if you understand how things work in the business world, like I would have something, but I don't have anything. Like I own a farm, and I've got no money to invest in the farm. And then you, Wakalinda, you come in and say, "Look, you've got this piece of land. I've got the capital. Why don't I inject money in this business in your farm?" We start, for example, mining, whatever, mining or agriculture, right? You come up with your money, and then we sit down and say, "Look, all right, since you're the one who's bringing the money, okay, you're gonna have 51%. I have 49% because it's my land." In simple terms, that's how we can look at it, because the mine is ours, yes, but they're bringing in the money, they're bringing in the machinery, and they're paying off the debt. You can imagine all the workers were paid off. Everybody was paid off. All contractors, everybody, council workers who they were paid off by the investor. So it gives them that if we did that, okay, since the PF, they're so smart, why did they do it? Right? How would have they done it if they were very smart? If they were very smart, they should tell us, another option to say, "Look, this is what you've done is wrong. Us would have done," but they never did anyway, so it wouldn't even come into the conversation. But the conversation right now is, once Glencore was paid off, we only have two dealers, which is the government and the investor, and that's it. And the investor is paying all our debt that we owed. They're paying them. So why not why don't they give them a little bit of 51%? Like really look at 51, 59%. Like really, there isn't much difference. It would be a difference if you say, "Oh, why do they have 90%? Us we only have 20%." Which were the deals that were actually negotiated back in the day. You'd find the government only were owning like 20%, and the foreigner owes 80%. But
yeah, I think the question actually, was this a sell or not? I think that's what most people want to know. Was it a sell or not? And if it was a sell, why wasn't it taken to Parliament? I think that's what the minister was trying to answer. So you did a very good job going through the history behind the whole the whole how the whole deal came into being. Okay, so the question now is: was Glencore sold or not? That's the big question.
Yeah,
was it a sell or not?
Well, why don't we bring in Wakazia? I think he's here.
No, Wakazia is not yet here. Oh, Wakazia is not here. How about we bring in my handsome, lousy husband is here from the good state of Puerto Rico. Doctor, this one is so welcome back. And we are all talking about the Mopani deal. Was that a sell or not a sell? What's your understanding of it? And if it was a sell, why wasn't it taken to Parliament for Parliament to ratify the sell? Which is what
it wasn't a sell. It was a business deal.
Okay.
There
All
was some
right.
there was
Break
some
it down.
compromises that were made. There was no money exchange, no nothing. So it was a deal. It's a business deal.
Okay. So if it was a business deal and we owned 100% of it and we gave up, I mean, the little economics that I know from doing my own little businesses over here is that that was an allotment. So you have 100%, and then you said, okay, I need money to try to, upgrade, make certain investment in this asset. How about you bring in money? I give you 51%. I'll still own the mine. And let's make my money. I guess that's why the business deal comes in. Is that what I'm understanding right here, Doc?
Yes, that's the way things happen, actually. I've done that many, many times myself in my life. The first Datsun 120Y I owned, I didn't sell it with money. I exchanged with the Chigayo.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, when was this? What year was this?
That was 1993.
Uh-huh.
That time, how many it is? I'm a Datsun.
Yeah, that's at 120Y. I used to have one.
Yeah, but we are dealing with national assets. We're not dealing with personal business. So let's be serious about that.
But the government benefited out of that deal as well, because what I'm trying to say is that I don't think the government just woke up in the morning and say we're giving you 51% shares. There you go, and we remain empty-handed. The government somehow benefited out of that deal, and that's the reason why somehow we found ourselves not surrendering. I don't want to say surrendering. Making use of our shares that we had to reach a deal. So that's how business deals happen. It's not always that it's cash flow and all that. No, sometimes it's you compromise on what you have and what the other party has. And then as long as it was beneficial to the Zambian government, that's the most important thing.
Great. How about we bring in a new entrant? I've never seen this name before. Francisco. I hope I pronounced it correct. My apologies if I butchered your name, like I always butcher other people's names over here. Francisco Namaunga. I think that's what I see here. Welcome to the podcast. Your comments on Mopani, on the Mopani deal. Was it a sell or not a sell? Your comment, sir.
Okay, when I look at it, it was correctly a deal. Though we can say it was good for Zambia to benefit, because at the moment we are looking forward to where the mining sectors can plow back to the Zambian economy. So it was a good deal because it has brought something that we can add value to our economy. That's what I can take you about it.
Oh, thank you, and where are you joining us from today? Just for the sake of our viewers.
I'm joining from Lusaka, Zambia.
Nice.
How lovely. I wish I was in Lusaka eating all the maize and...
How's the weather there?
We're envious, some of us.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
How's the weather? Is it raining? Is it cold? What's going on there?
It's raining. At least we are able to do good farming this year.
Nice.
That's what we want to hear. Yeah, we need a bumper harvest in maize so that at least the price of meal goes down a little bit. Once everything else is factored in. So, so please stay on, and we appreciate you joining us today. And so basically, a little background. So, Glencore owned Mopani. They decided at some point they were not making money of it. They were ready to leave. So they sold Mopani back to government for $1. Then they turned around and said, oh, by the way, yes, we sold you for $1, but we had put in this investment totaling $1.5 billion. So the Zambian government we'll give you back your Mopani for $1, but we need to recoup the $1.5 billion investment that we put in. So that ended up being a date. And then the PF government agreed to Mopani, Glencore getting whatever cells that were coming out of the copper output until that $1.5 billion debt was satisfied. Moving on along, the UPND moved in and said, hey, no, wait a minute. You guys moved away. We cannot sell these assets to anybody because of this $1.5 billion, debt that we have. So let's renegotiate. They renegotiated, and Mopani, of course, moved away. The debt came down to $400 million. Enter IRH, which is a company out of, is it Saudi Arabia? Somebody correct me. I'm just running through as simple as I can. And then the IRH, of course, it's a Saudi Arabia company, which is the mother body. Behind that IRH is where Delta Mining comes in. It's a subsidiary. They came in with all the money, paid off Glencore, and assumed that 51% shares of Mopani. So there's no sale there. It's a business deal. Are we all in agreement, or somebody wants to chip in and add other things that I have forgotten? This is how I understood it, and that's what the minister said.
I think somebody else that you haven't introduced there.
I think these are, sorry, I don't know whether there's somebody talking or not, but I think these are some of the things which our constitution or the rules or the laws of the land should clarify. For example, now our government is saying it wasn't a sale, but of course it was a business deal. So they should clarify what's the difference between a business deal and a sale, because the opposition are saying, no, even if it was a business deal, it should have gone to parliament. But according to the law, it's supposed to have been a sale, like, oh, this is a price of the goods we're selling and give us this. But I think they should, what can I say, verify what they mean by what are the deals or business transactions that need to go to parliament and those that do not need to go to parliament. Because the way it is, to me, the government did not take that matter to parliament because it was not a sale. There was no money transactions involved. So that's something we should look at as Zambians. Should we clarify further about some of these business transactions that the government is involved in? What should go to parliament for ratification or not? So I think there's a lacuna there. They're using the government famous word of lacuna. There's a lacuna in that sense.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can totally agree and hear what you're saying. A lacuna is definitely there, because I think basically what happened was an investor comes and invests in your business or in your company. All right, you're not selling; they're just coming in to invest in your business. It's already on a company that's already running, but because you may have people that you owe money, people that you want to pay off. So this person comes in as a partner and says, look, I'm going to pay off, your everything that you owe people this, you owe that, I'm going to pay that. As long as you give me this percentage, then you agree, you shake hands, right? It's different from when you say, oh, we're selling a car. You put it on the market, you put it on so that everybody can come in and bid. Whoever gives you the best price, then they buy the item. That's a sale. Okay. Now this is more like an investment. Somebody's coming in just to invest in your business. Okay. Yeah, you haven't stopped, that business. Okay. It's not for sale, or it's not like on the market to say, okay, we're selling this mine for $2 million.
Yeah.
No.
You are correct on that one, but I think the notion that the opposition MPs have here is that we are entering in a deal, of a national asset, and what they are trying to say here is basically consult us as MPs, bring it to Parliament because it's a big deal for the country. So, but I think that's what they're trying to say. We were not consulted. We needed to be consulted, but they overlook the fact that in the laws it just says they can only be consulted if it's a sale. So I think going forward, as a country that has national interests at heart, all of us, if we want our parliament to be, to be looking at some of these transactions or business deals, we have to change the laws and make them more clear as to what should be, what transactions or what business deals should go through parliament. But as it is now, my government has done nothing wrong unless we change the law. But I think the opposition have somehow a little point somewhere to say, okay, this is a big deal. We needed to be consulted as parliamentarians. And I think that's where it's going. That's what the argument is all about. But they forget that the law does not say that. It just says unless it's a sale. So I think going forward, if we're interested in safeguarding our interests in assets as a country, we should clarify or broaden the terms included in the parliamentary clarification of some of these deals. That's all I can say.
Great. Mr. Gigonka, your 2 thoughts? Your opinion?
Well, I haven't followed much of this mining sale, to be honest with you. But all I know is that a lot of things were done so badly during the PF administration. I don't know what I can even comment on it, whether it was a business deal or whatever it is. I just believe that everything was not done in a good faith to begin with. So that's my opinion. I don't know what else to say.
I actually agree with you, because how do you sell? I mean, how do you buy back an asset at $1 and you end up owing $1.5 billion? And then you give this company all this leeway to recoup the $1.5 billion from the sale of the ore that is dug out of the ground. That picture, to me, I still am failing to wrap up my brain. So, so much as I appreciate the doc's advice on going back to the members of parliament, who mostly are PF. How do we go back to ask for their advice after they give us such a bad deal? Mr. Francisco, your comment. How do you go back to PF and say, hey, give us some advice? You had this bad deal, but this is what we're trying to do. Give us some advice on this, Mr.
Okay. I think the point that they do have is looking at the eyes as a nation. They have a little bit of some points to be consulted, because they are our custodians of these assets for the nation. However, we know that they have the people who caused this kind of situation, and the government at the moment, they are looking at which way they can run away from resources going outside the government hands. So the best way is to allow the investor to come in, and with that, maybe covers a little bit of some pumps a little bit of some money in the economy, which at the end of it will help the government to recoup what they lost during that bad decision. So somehow, even if they have a point at the moment, they need to look to have bigger picture of what is the current government trying to save out of that bad decision which was made earlier.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Can I add something there too?
Yes.
And the reason why the oppositions are a little bit vocal on this thing is because they think that the current government behaves the way they used to behave, where if they make any deal, there's somebody who has pocketed money somewhere. They still think that way, that, oh my God, this deal could not just go through without somebody pocketing something. That's why because they think the current government operates the way they used to operate. So they have that suspicion that, oh, somebody must have gotten something out of this deal and stuff like that. They don't realize this government is different from them. There's nobody that is after buying 64, 70 cars and put them in the backyard. The government, this current government, is not like that. So they just think of their past, the way they used to operate. To them, such a deal, somebody would have gotten a lot of money out of it.
Right. The deal is too beautiful to see without pocketing, really. A size of a European country, some I'm just saying. Anyway, shall we move on to the next topic? What's our next topic? What was that? Well, oh yes, here we are. Oh, Mr. Kazia says he'll be in. He's finishing up his fishing trip for the weekend, but he'll be here soon. All right. Shall we talk about the Ministry of Education announcing that they won't be seeking any new fresh applications from their how many are they recruiting? 4,200. They're going to use the application that's already on file in their database. Is that good or bad? Who wants to go first?
I think it's good. I mean, why do you have to have a backlog of applications? And why post a new positions when people have been applying for years and years and years? And this is a problem. People have been saying, like, look, I've been applying and haven't been answered. So if we have, it's more like first in, last in or first in, the FIFO kind of situation. So let's create that room first. Remove everybody that applied before all these years. Clear that up. Once that's cleared, then you start posting now new position, new job position. Say you need whatever thousand of people that you need. I think it only makes sense, really, because I can tell you there are thousands and thousands of applications in the system.
Right.
Knowing how Zambia is right now with unemployment in any sector, really. I mean, there's thousands of people that don't have jobs and thousands of applications. People have been applying, really, for years and years and years. And you hear the stories that they're online. They're like, me, I've been applying for years. I've never been picked. Why is it? It's because the application is seated somewhere. Okay? So why not clear those applications first? I think it only makes sense. It only makes sense, really, to be honest. I don't know what everybody else is thinking on this one. But
let's bring in a former teacher here who is, I can see her mouth moving. She's been too quiet for a minute. Sis, what do you think of the idea that this year recruitment are going to be done from the ministry's database? They are not taking fresh applications.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So was that announced or?
Yes, the Minister of Education announced it this past week.
Yeah. So, when you're dealing with human beings have got, we are emotional, and we also think of what next. So when the Minister of Education says that it won't be receiving new applications, first, you have also to look at the political side view, okay? Those whom you're telling that you won't be receiving their applications, what are you telling them? What political ground are you putting across? Because those are voters, okay? And you are going for elections in 2026. The best you would have done, the Minister of Education, the best they would have done is to continue receiving, and in-house, they know what they're doing, like Rachanda has put. Rachanda is saying it's a good thing. But for me, what I can say is that it's not a good thing to just say that, oh, okay, you guys, because we have 30,000 who are already hungry. So no mealy meal, no shima. How do you make those people to favor you in future? So the best they would have done is just to keep on collecting and then file the new ones in a different database, than just telling people that we won't be receiving new applications. That is a blow to the new teachers, to the graduating teachers. That's not good as a government. Thank you.
All right. You certainly have a point there, but I think somebody
Can I
would.
make a contribution real
Hello.
quick?
Yeah. Just before you come in, let me just throw out this question as you come in. So going by our sixth advice here, how about maybe the ministry thought we have all these leakages, so let's just preempt the leakages and just say no fresh recruitment, but we'll deal with the ones that we already have in the database. Go ahead with your answer.
Okay.
I'd like to make a contribution just to add on to Basera's comment, if you don't mind. So I feel personally, this is new topic. I just literally discovered it right here on this forum. I just don't think it's ideal or it's a good thing that they should consider old applications only. And because, circumstances change for people. Some people may have had some kind of upgraded resumes before the last applications that they made. So I think they should probably, just accept new ones as well as old ones and compare whatever. If they can't, or they can rule out all the old ones, get rid of them, and just let new people reapply or new people apply to the system. It's just the only fair way to deal with it, because it just seems like it makes no sense. What about some people? Maybe the newer ones who have come in, they already have. They even have much more better resumes than the ones that they already have in the database that they can do the job. We don't know. So
Yeah, just on that one, Dr. Chikonga, just on that one, what if others have left the country and others have other jobs, better jobs, and then you say, no, we'll just be dealing with the old ones?
Yeah,
okay,
that makes sense.
Hello, sorry. I think we need to look at two aspects, two pictures, I think, on this recruitment. UPND is a government that have come with a notion that everybody is entitled to employment as a Zambian.
Yeah.
And so the time they were entering, you remember the president was emphasizing that there's no civil servant that will be removed from the system because of political affiliation. So the two recruitment that took place, the new applicants, the teachers, if you remember, Western Province, we had to face a reality where the DC and the other people came in and said, you are not recruiting our people into the Ministry of Education. So in that scenario, they are looking at, to my side, I think they are looking at one, the teachers which previously were recruited, they are a little bit of hand for the past government. The people that have been in the government, in the system, they are recruiting their relatives. So those who had no connection, there's a possibility that majority of them, they remained. And so those are the ones that are crying even today that actually we voted for this government and they are still doing the same kind of recruitment and employing the same people. So with that, if they freeze the incoming new application, meaning that the human resource in the Ministry of Education.
Oh, we lost him. We lost Mr. Namanga in Lusaka. I hope he didn't lose his power, because I experienced, in Zambia, you lose power, your network also goes. Doc, Liswanisa, you want to come in on the recruitment of teachers? Where are your thoughts on this one?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's only me that's having some connection problems. I'm having some of you freeze and unfreeze time and again, but I don't know. Maybe it's me alone here.
It's you.
It's only me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, so to me, as somebody that has been involved extensively in the selection process of candidates, both at the university level here in Canada, and also I was at one time put on a selection committee at the government of Canada itself for the immigration purposes, we use 3 methods in selecting candidates. First of all, we should have everybody allowed to apply. And when everybody is allowed to apply, we subject them to either of the 3 methods. The first one, of course, is the lottery style, where you just pull in, put your hand in a hat, and whoever comes out of there has the equal chance of getting selected. So that's the first one that can be used. So the Minister of Education should have clarified, Siaga Lima should have clarified what method the government is using, because there are 3 methods of selecting people that have oversubscribed to one job or to one position. Okay, so there's a lottery style where you dip in the hand, whoever hand comes in, and you continue adding names to that bag. You don't stop. All right. Then there's one where it's a list, what we call the waiting list or formatting lottery system, where you have people that have been given numbers. So when you apply, you're given a number, and they'll tell you, right now we are employing from number 1 to number 200. If you're number 203, then you wait when it's your time. So you can see the list, you getting closer and closer to the top. That's a waiting list formatting lottery system. All right. The third one is the merit system, where whoever is in that bag, you analyze their qualification and see who is more qualified than the other, and then you put them according to their merits. So, to me, I have a problem as somebody that has been involved in the selection processes. I had 80 positions for 3,000 applicants. I had to get 80 people for those positions. So, which system is the government using is a question I can ask Minister Siaga Lima. Are you using the lottery system? Are you using the weighting system, or you're using the merit system? So we need to know. If, to me, all the 3 methods require consistent addition of names to the list. You don't stop adding to the list. You continue adding, but then you tell the applicants what method you are using. You say, okay, we are adding you there, and we'll dip our hand in the hat, and with your name comes out, you're a teacher. Or we are giving you a number. When you apply, we're giving you a number, and those that applied earlier on will be employed. So you can see that's a fair system. You see the numbers coming down, and you see yourself, your number coming up. Or it's on a merit system as well. So we should know if the government which method they're using in the Ministry of Education. That's the only thing I can say. And if they need help, I can help. I know this type of things. I know how to do it very, very well. Thank you.
Oh, there is my lovely doctor husband. Let's bring in the man who knows something about teaching in Zambia as well, Mr. Himwan, my brother. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Today I'll be in the dark. I don't want to be seen. I'm very tired and just sleeping.
Okay. Anyway,
Yes.
you just came in at the right time.
Yes, I'm tired but sleeping. In the dark. I'm protesting. Definitely, but over the enrollment of teachers. Yes. It is sad that it happened that way. But it's for a good reason. You know, there are people who have gone into teaching just with a statement of results, or just with promotional exam results, because they have got people who are up there. They will be teachers. They haven't even completed their courses. They have not even sat for their final exams. They are sneaked in with promotional exam results. So it's good that they are using the applications for those that already applied, because at least those they have got they have been in the streets. They are not like straight away entrance from colleges into the teaching service. I don't know. I don't know if my point is being gotten here.
No, that makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
There
Yeah,
is
because we
no.
have to remember there are people that have been who have graduated. They have been on the street for 6 years, 7 years, and still haven't got a job
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, we
But
should also
here's
think.
the
We should
thing. I
also
think
think about it. Those people that enter the system without waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are also those that enter the system without waiting, and there are those people that enter the system without the actual teaching certificates. And God forbid, that previous regime still has people in the system, and they are well known for having been doing that. So, given chance this time around, given chance this time around, they are going to make it possible for all their people to go in. You know, this is part of being methodical. You know, I like this system. To be methodical, sometimes you have to do what others consider to be the wrong thing, but it's a method. The merit system, the point system, that one is also a method, but this one is a methodical way also. I yield.
I think what my brother is talking about here, if I may just contribute a little bit. I'm not an expert in the teaching industry or whatever, but just looking at recruitment and human resource. This gives an opportunity to weed out certain elements or weed out people that are not qualified. Because
Yes,
once we have a batch, you say you've got 1,000, for example, 1,000 applications, then you start combing through those 1,000 applications and point out who is really qualified, who's not really qualified, and who's really, a top-notch teacher or not. So this is a good thing because that's gonna give an umbrella for many other things. Now this is a start. If they do that now, because we cannot continue postponing and allow people to just be applying without knowing when they're going to be employed. And this is going to give a definite equation or a definite number to say, okay, we have so many teachers. They will have statistics on hand. We have so many teachers that have applied, qualified teachers with certificates. We are going to employ from the pool, okay, of last year. We're going to employ so many, right? You give data to the people, and the people understand. So okay, this is how it's moving, all right? And then now when you see that okay, that pool now is over, so that database is being dealt with, then a new database comes in. Then you can tell people now, can you start applying? Then you start working on the new database because the old database actually runs from over 10 years.
yes.
Like over 10 years. Can you imagine this? Because people we're not employed like really serious teachers, people that are really qualified and applied genuinely. They've never been picked. It was who you know.
Yeah, a point to add.
A point to
add. A point to add. Let
Go
me
ahead, Mr. Master.
let me just give a clear example. This is November, and there are a lot of teacher students in colleges who are writing exams now as we speak, final exams. Some had chances to be employed even before getting their final results, which they are sitting for now, the final exams, the results. Their chances to be employed based on the fact that they were training, especially primary teacher training colleges. So to avoid that, they have sealed that loophole which was there. You would find you are teaching, you are in school with this teacher. You hear that's what is. You just hear rumors say, "Oh no, that guy, he hasn't got the paper." Especially when it comes to qualification audit, no, he hasn't got the paper. He has gone to rewrite, but he's already getting paid. So it's a good method.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
So, if I hear you correctly, you are saying that there are some teachers who are already in employment and they haven't got the credentials to do that.
101% correct.
Yes, I want to say something. So,
Yes.
what has that got to do with the government suggesting that they won't be receiving new applications? What you're talking about is for the government, for the Ministry of Education to sweep what is there. Those who don't have the credentials, those who are teaching, the ones that you are referring to, the government should go in and sweep them and make them resign and do the paperwork, get the proper credentials. That has nothing to do with the Ministry of Education to say that we won't be receiving new applications. Number one. Number two, we are in political arena. I'm UPN. We are in political arena. 2026, we are having elections. Whatever decision any ministry makes should look at that as a politician, should consider how is it going to affect our elections. And these people whom the government, the Ministry of Education is saying that we are not going to receive new applications, these are the voters. They are the majority, the youth. So what are you trying to do as a political, field, in the political field? What are you trying to do? You are discouraging the voters. What are they going to do? You think if you refuse my application, do you think I can wake up and go and vote for you? So let's be careful the way we are doing things as UPND. That is my notion. There is no harm in you saying, continue applying. Down the line, yourselves, the people in the ministry, they know how to go about, like the doctor in Canada, what he has said. You give the channel, you know how to get the one, like he said, lottery way of picking people. There's nothing wrong. Like you standing there say, oh, stop coming to me because I'm dealing with what I have already. I mean, that's very wrong. That's what I'm saying. And those people are teaching without credentials. There's nothing connected to stopping people from applying. Thank you.
I have a point. I have something to say. I have something to say again. If you people were to go in the DEBS offices, the office of the DEBS or Human Resource Department, and you see the mountains of files that are there for people that were applying, the mountains, I think you would understand what is being talked about. Because when it's time for applying, people spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kwachas to have their papers put in place, to have teaching council recommend them, to have whatever certificate certified. It costs money. There are people who have been doing that for the past 3 in recruitments and have not been picked. So this time around, they stand a chance. They'll be the competition will be limited. It will not be spread wide like it has been. At least they'll consider those that have already applied. Then talking about people who are going to vote, talking about maybe not having enough voters, compared to the number of teachers that have been employed, 40,000 or so. Is it 40,000?
41,000.
41,000. Now, 4,000 is just 10%. Is it 10% of what had been employed before? So there's no harm in.
My brother, just on that one. You are talking about those people, 4,000, that's 4% is just the one, whatever. This affects the mother who took her to school, the uncle who took her to school, the sister. When we are voting, my family is affected. We all don't go to vote for that person.
No, by 2026, there will be another mass recruitment of 50,000. Don't worry.
Can I add something? Can I just add something?
Yes, go. Come in.
when we are looking at the selection process, we have to look at both sides. We shouldn't just look at one side of the process, okay? So I know right now we are saying, okay, there are people that have already applied. There are piles and piles in Deb's offices. But think about the other people that are waiting to enter the system. Those are also Zambians. They need a chance. They need to be given a chance as well. I'll give you a good example. I have a lot of experience here in Canada because, for example, Canada accepts a number of immigrants here every year. And they never say, okay, we have, and they have excess applicants already right now as we speak. The Canadian government does not say, okay, we have piles and piles of applicants from all over the world already, so no more accepting applicants. They don't do that. What they do, they continue accepting, but they give you a number to say, okay, this year we're accepting 200,000, and you'll be told, oh, you are now somewhere around there, and some people wait for 6-7 years before they're accepted to come as immigrants to Canada, because it is a system. It works whereby you're on a waiting list, and you know that as an individual that have been given a chance as well. Whether you have not been recruited or called in, you know that I have a chance. One day it will come. But for us as a country to say, okay, we have enough applicants. Those of you that are graduating now, that's it, done. We're not interested. It's not. It's not
Are you
right.
aware? Are you aware that some HRs have already received bribes for people who want the jobs, and yet they have not yet applied?
I'm aware of what you are saying, but what I'm saying is that stopping applicants coming in is not fair to everybody. It's not.
and frustrating,
Yes.
It doesn't make the process fair.
Yes.
And frustrating, and frustrating those HRs that are into that tendency of eating something from people before they even recruit. I think is coming to an end. People are learning a lesson. You would hear, no, twaliwa parent dalama baliatu mwana weswengire nchito, but nchito tayamoneka. There are many people that were promised, oh no, I can get nchito.
But my brother, is stopping the application gonna stop that?
No, it's not. It's not okay.
It will not stop that process you're talking about. That has nothing to do with the stopping of the applications coming in. We have to give every Zambian who wants to be a teacher an opportunity to be recruited. And we have to clarify the method of choice, of selection. These things are there. The softwares are there. Everything. You can be entering these names in a certain software, and this software will do the job. You sleep at night, it's sorting out the people on you. It's very easy. So we need to know which method we're using as a Ministry of Education, how to select this. I know you are talking about, it's selected by humans in somewhere in Isiangombo there in an office. But in this day and age, in my view, with all the technology, to be honest, we don't have to depend on those depths and all these guys who are in the... We can do it in a very clear manner.
When it comes to education on this podcast, it just goes haywire every week.
Doctor.
Shall we move?
Before we move, my last point, Doctor. I want to call this. I want to give this method a name. It's a hybrid method. The merit, whatever process. It's a hybrid process, hybrid method of selecting. If ever there's such a one.
Right. So essentially what we have learned, and we need to get hold of Dr. Siagalima, is that he needs to tell us what methods the Ministry of Education is using for this recruitment. Is it hybrid? Is it whatever? And then it's not fair for the freeze. And everybody has come up, with their own opinions. But for me, I would say let's give the people that have been on the streets 10 years, 6 years, 7 years looking for jobs. That's where I stand on that. And shall we then move on to my topic of the week, which is, sis, I've been waiting for Saboi to parade her titties on the street. It hasn't happened. But instead, what we got this week was her being convicted of defamation against State House presidential spokesperson, Clayton Hamasara. Your views, gentlemen and lady. Saboi is now a convict, so.
Convict as in being at Mbashi already?
No, she's been fined 50,000 kwacha. So she's gonna pay Clayton 50,000 kwacha for her inflammatory statements online against him and his marriage. But I'm not gonna go in there. But that's what she said on her Facebook page. I think last year, when this case was started, and it culminated into a conviction for her. This past week.
What happened? What did she really say? She said that he was what? Like he was trying to approach her or something in an appropriate way. What was
Anyway,
I will not talk about her marriage. She was talking about Clayton's marriage, or he was. I mean, it's come on. I really don't want to get into people's bedrooms.
No. What we're talking about is the case. Like, what was the case? The case was like she was saying or accusing Hamasaka of what? Like trying to, touch her in an appropriate way or promising her a job. What was the case? What was the real issue? What was the case all about? Like, really?
Well, the case was that she lied on Facebook that Hamasaka was going through a divorce, or was going, the wife left him because of, I mean, I think let's not really, I mean, the whole thing is that he got convicted for whatever statement she made online. And Hamasaka felt injured. He went to court. He got a conviction. She was commenting on his marriage, or she lied about his marriage. That's the bottom line. But I'm not going to go into details as far as to what exactly she said. Is that fair enough?
I don't know. And there is not a topic worth to discuss if you don't have content.
It's not a what?
Mr. Kalinda.
Yeah.
Some people, when their names are mentioned, people even feel what to comment. Like Saboi. Have you seen it? People are like, what are they going to say about Saboi? She deserves it. She deserves it. You don't open your mouth like that. You just whoa. No direction. No plan. She deserves whatever she's been convicted of.
Great. My bro, Doc, Jigonka, your comment, please, on Saboi's conviction for lying about people's marriage.
Somebody's in the light.
It's Mr. Maja. He's awake now.
Yeah, he's now awake.
Yeah, he's awake now. My brother, Dr. Jikonka, your comment on Saboi's conviction. Or maybe we send him to sleep. Okay, moving on. Doctor, my lovely doctor husband, Dr.
To me, my sister, she was, I don't know, Saboi, my sister, I don't know, I think we are not even to comment. We are not even to comment on her. I think there are better national issues we should be debating on such forums. She's the same as our brother Binoculars. What is his name again?
Nakavin.
These people, if we're gonna waste our resources and time to talk about them, we will just be, I think, wasting our time. Let's these things just pass by and we just wave and say, okay, bye-bye. Yeah. I think there are more important issues as a nation we should be that should be forming headlines and other than this type of news.
Definitely.
Right on, Mr. Maja. I know Mr. Maja wanted to see Saboi's titties on the streets of Lusaka, but
no, it's time that it's time people that pay for. It's time people started paying for abusing social media.
Mm-hmm.
Why, if she thought the marriage for Clayson was really that way she described it, why didn't she go to approach him directly and just tell him in the face? There's also that option. You just look, oh, look, Clayson, I'm looking for you. Your marriage is like this and this and this. Face to face, they have a talk. It can work. But now you go social media, you go public for something where you have no evidence. This is what happens.
Bamacha, and who is she to talk about someone's marriage? Who is she?
No, that's why I'm saying if she really felt convicted that there was something wrong in Clayson's marriage, she would have gone to Clayson face to face and tell him, say, Clayson, your marriage is like this and this and this and this and this. Then they were going to start from somewhere.
Okay.
So marriage is like this, like this, like this,
Yes.
like this. So what?
Then they could have started from somewhere. They could have started from somewhere. But now she used the shortcut, or she used the long way. There was a shortcut to that, a good one for that matter. Now
You
she's
don't
paying.
for someone's marriage. You are busy talking about it.
Aha.
Come on, keep quiet.
There you go. Mhm.
All right. Should we move on? Should we move on to the next topic?
Yes.
Oh, guess who is finally back from fishing? Guess who's back? Our resident,
Mr.
PS is back.
Mr. Chizia.
What's
What's his name?
Kazia is here.
lero vamuna vatawe vitapenda bwino kuipeseka kuitanani kali. Let me hide myself today.
Okay, and he's just joined us at the right time when we want to talk about former ACC Commissioner Dr. Henry Mbashi, who is still under investigation for obtaining 2.3 million kwacha from the Ministry of Finance fraudulently, and then buying a house in Woodlands. He has since lost his job, and ACC is still investigating him. Gentlemen and ladies, we're still on the corruption fight. I know our resident PS always says the new Dawn government has a selective fight because there are certain people that are just never interrogated or arrested when it comes to this fight. So now we have here a commissioner who actually resigned after that 2.3 million kwacha payment was discovered, and is still going through investigation. So your comment on that? Shall we start with the man who just joined us, Bakazia?
Who just went away?
He went away again. Okay. All right. So I'm so done. I'm so done right now. Anyway, shall we start with you, Bachilufi? You've been in the doldrums there for a minute. You come on in and talk about this former ACC commissioner who's facing the music.
Yeah, on that one I got no information on that one. I wouldn't comment on something that I don't know. That topic I haven't heard it or read about it, so I don't want to contribute on something.
Some volume, sir.
Yeah, so I don't have any information on it, so I don't know how you want me to contribute on something that I don't know about. So has information.
I've had some information.
Go ahead, Mr. Maja.
I've had some information about such issues from the time Bali came into office.
Mm-hmm.
He's always said, you are alone when you do the wrong thing. And there is a case now. He's alone. You are on your own. That's what he has said. Now that man is on his own. It's a case in point. Yeah, the president has said it. He could be doing what, but now he's alone. That's what the president said. The president's words are coming to fruition now. I yield.
All right. Dr. Liswanisa, your comment on these investigations and the commissioner losing his job? And he's a dog.
Yeah,
this is for heaven's sake.
Yeah, this is as my brother just said. This just shows the fact that we are a government of truthfulness. In the previous government or immediate past government, you will never hear of such a thing, where the ACC person is convicted of corruption or anything like that. So yeah, this is just to show that the president really means what he means. There's no sacred cow in our government. The law will visit you whether you're UPND or not, or whether you are a high-ranking government officer or not. I know Chandagazia is breathing fire in the background there, but that is who we are. We're a government of, we mean what we say.
Right.
Wow.
Bring some fire.
The resident PS is just coming at the right time.
Breathe some fire, please.
Yes.
I just heard. Is it a rant now? We're about to go.
No, we are not. We are not even there yet.
What is the term? I've just heard that people mean what they say, and they say what they mean. Or if they started now to say what they mean.
No, we're just talking about Dr. Henry Mbashi, former ACC Commissioner.
I don't have
lost a house in Woodlands. He fraudulently got money from the Ministry of Finance. Using that money, he bought a house in Woodlands, and the ACC are investigating him.
Oh, they're investigating him.
Yeah, he's fired. He's no longer at the ACC anymore. He's lost his house that he fraudulently got with that money, and
he's been found guilty. He's been found guilty.
And the people that were procuring, the people that were selling consent judgments are still on.
Yeah. Anyway, talk to us.
Let me bring it. That's why I'm saying, if they started today doing what they say they will do, I don't have a problem. But to say that is what they've been doing in the past, I don't think so. Because there are so many statements which have come to say, no, because this was not done. And we go back to the same scenarios. So if they've started now saying what they mean, I commend them. But I wouldn't say that that has been the status in the past. No, that has not been the status. There are things that have been said which have been done differently. And these are the things that are, for me, I always remind you, colleagues, that we must be able to continuously tell the politicians, especially when we are affiliated to the current government, tell them the truth. It will help the government. So if they've started, well and good, I'm happy for that.
Who wants to answer, Mr. Kazi?
I said the truth. So it's different.
No. There's a starting point. There's a starting time to everything. This could be the start. So let's wait and see.
You are now talking. It could be the start, and I don't have a problem. But if it is like, oh, this is what it has been, then I have a problem, because that is not true. Again, that is not true.
A lot of cases are being followed up. Even those that were supplying air, very soon they will be in the courts of law. So let's wait and see.
I want to see those that supplied air acted. You can't have 3 years people who supplied air, they are still supplying air. And then they are still left to use. Let those that supplied air be held accountable for the air they supplied, which has not been used. We want to see that suppliers of air must be held accountable.
Just like
Irehisa mdala, irehisa vakochi, irehisa mdala, katamule muleko ba ACC balehisa.
All right.
Balehikata almost every
Okay.
day, balehikata. Baleya kuchifungo. Yarama ama deals mwale kwata, muvo vale kwata yarama deals. They're being brought up to light. And when we talk about the fair
what,
deals,
and I can't hear you.
you can't hear me?
Yeah, please speak up.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, now I can
So,
hear you.
you can hear me now?
There's a mic
Yes,
maybe that
please.
needs to
Yes,
be
please.
muted.
Let's mute the
Yeah.
mic. Whoever
Let's
is,
mute the mic.
if you're not speaking, please mute your mic.
So, area and area, what you're talking about. Everybody will be bought to book. Everybody will actually be bought to book. And mukatampana kutotenjera it's because the way the model system is working. Okay? Methodical, museka we have got a methodical way of doing things, but one by one, abantu bakabatampu kulatira. One by
Efo
one,
tulefa okumona. Nababe
kulatira.
aletse
One
trade
by
$100.
one.
Efo kubamona. Ababe
Mukabatampu
akanamba dollars ka table. Nama calendar, we want to see them. Hold accountable.
iriya share makalenda mpala ine nga mwachita contract nje nchandapangira kwa makalenda ali 100
If you
amakalenda ali 100
guys remember,
naisa kukunshito kumyenu kulya nasa namipira njira mone sample niyo ko ile moneka kalenda nawo temwa nante mwa okay chinga okay indamani ni business yo that's outside business. It's got nothing to do with politics, it's got nothing to do with the government.
if you guys remember, that's a big statement right there. So, you've just started, you have started, just wait. A lot of things are unraveling right now. So,
I am very excited actually because this is the things that we say he must do. Ama shares change overnight from the blues. A minister of mines. He must be held accountable. To change ama shares like that. But then we push our UPND members of parliament. We want those. What are the people that need to be actually held accountable as well? So for me, accountability is one thing that we must hold everybody. Now, including our $3 billion here and the what are we seeing? So we need to be very clear with that. That one is very encouraged. Go and say no secret cows. For me, I am not for the selective justice. What I don't want is if there are criminal elements, you deal with them decisively. Nobody says you can't deal with them. But don't be selective in the way you deal with them. That's the only point. And that has been my consistent point. When you are dealing with criminality, be consistent. Whether it is UPND, whether it is PF, whether it is socialist, do it in a just manner. But you can't say when UPND you look the other way, or you start rationalizing and justifying it. No, we shouldn't do that.
Right. Okay, shall we now move on?
Area mine. Kabuswe balera ndapo. Can you just clarify? Because we were talking about was it a sale or was it just a transition or an investment?
I think we should not go behind because this is just going to open up a whole.
I can just pass a passing comment on it.
Yes.
Because I know the discussing it will be just opening, going 5 ways back. But I would just rely on the information that has come from Parliament. And no amount of rationalizing it. Where you want to, what definition. You want to start saying, oh, the definition is that. Attorney General everyone can make mistakes. And when they make mistakes, it's better to correct mistakes and, move on. But when you are answering and trying to use, when people try to use the power of incumbents to answer questions, it becomes a problem. So, I understand, but yeah, let's see what happens. But I think there is something that is wrong. That justification doesn't make sense. But anyway, we can move on.
Can I add a point? Can I just add a point?
30
You see,
seconds.
yeah, I'm thinking, I'm thinking that I'm already in 2026, and then Parliament has sat somewhere. They passed a law that says like whoever has a case before the court should not be adopted as an MP or a presidential candidate or a councillor or whatever position. In Ndelota, but I don't know. Can this dream come true?
That dream cannot come true because you see why it can't come true. An accusation doesn't amount to conviction.
How to just clear? You must have clean hands.
You can't say. I can't be.
Oh, okay. Suppose such a thing. Suppose such a thing happened.
Let me give
suppose my dream. Suppose my dream comes true. Would that not be fair?
Ramacha, if you ever did that, I want you to have a problem with Karambasana because now Bamacha inonga to amuchita accuse that Bamacha mwali posa amawe kuli moto katamwa liko ilo bamuikata. Elo wasa sangoko ati chachi ni Bamacha. Elo to mrefa luki mina bukansel. Mrefa kumina bukansel. Elo bamukanya. Elo wasa sangati Bamacha kabali kumini otama mini bukansel. What is the consequence of that?
That's a lighter case. It was a slight accusation, but for you,
okay. Let's not talk about hypotheticals. We're dealing with trending news.
Yeah, we can discuss this offline about
yes. Let's talk about now the Kasajiko hydro power plant that was commissioned in Northwestern Province this past week. 100 megawatts at Filectica. Power is slowly coming into Zambia like a snail moving on a tarmac. Your comment. Shall we start with our beloved PS?
Wow, I maybe I need to get some more information from other colleagues. I haven't heard about that one.
Okay. And how about we go to Bachelofia?
Yeah, I think it's a move in the right direction. What we need to really understand is like, look, this government is working working really, really hard, just to make sure that we have the best opportunities for our Zambian people. Now, this is a deliberate move. The hydro plant is actually in Northwestern Province. Now, people are saying that the Northwestern Province is going to be the next big thing when it comes to investment, when it comes to anything. Okay? Remember how the Copper Belt was. We all knew that the Copper Belt was the hub of the Zambia's economy. Now, gears are shifting. It's looking like Northwestern Province is going to be the hub of Zambia's economy, or the main earner in terms of contributing to its GDP. So a hydro plant only makes sense. It only makes sense, right? And already there's a proposition that more than 2,000 houses are going to be built. It's going to be a big city. So hydro is just a tip of an iceberg. The hydro plant itself that it's going to is there that have already commissioned. It's just a tip of an iceberg. People are looking at a big city that's going to be self-sufficient, and because of the drought, it has made the current government to realize that look, we cannot only.
I think your volume is low, actually.
Is my volume low?
It was a little bit low for me. I don't know.
Oh, sorry about that.
It goes in and out.
Oh, does it? Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
You're going on and off.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd. Anyway, so like I was saying, like, look, we need to understand one thing. The current government, what they're saying is this: we want to build a city in the Northwestern Province. And how are we going to build a city in the Northwestern Province if we don't have energy? 100 megawatts is just the tip of an iceberg. This is just the beginning of greater things. The Northwestern Province will be one of the largest cities coming right now. It will be self-sufficient. There will be schools, there will be hospitals, everything. It will be huge. Like the way Copperbelt was back in the days, that's how Northwestern Province is going to be. So the 100 megawatts that has been built or commissioned is a positive move to that trajectory of making Northwestern Province the new hub for Zambia's economy.
Are you there? Mwapuisha batufi.
Mwapuisha batufi. I don't know.
That's what I told you from the beginning. We can Mike Anyway, shall we then move on to Doc? This one is your comment on that 100 megawatt hydro power plant that was commissioned in Northwestern Province this week.
It's a good move. Of course, it's better than nothing. But to me, I would love to see more efforts directed towards renewable energies, alternative energies other than our old-fashioned hydro. I know we had that facility already. It was just rejuvenated. But to be honest, we have to move away from this hydro thing. I'm here in Puerto Rico where they're saying the next 5 years, the whole island of 5 or so million people will be powered by solar. Done, finish. Okay, so it's amazing to see a city of 2, 3, 4 million people being powered by solar panels. San Juan, it's amazing, and we can do that. We have the energy, we have the sun that has been gifted to us by God. It's fast, it's easy. You just have to invest, and then you have solar. Lusaka can be powered by solar. The whole Lusaka, all the Lusaka suburbs can be powered by solar. I was actually thinking of inviting a journalist here in Puerto Rico to come and just make a documentary about solar panel, solar energy, how it can really power a mega city like San Juan. You know, it can be done. What is Lusaka? Lusaka is a fraction of San Juan, and we can't power Lusaka. Mississippi, there's no electricity. This side, there's no electricity. Come on, we can do this. Let's invest in alternative energy sources. They're clean, they're efficient, and they're easy to install. It's just a matter of investing capital into it. So I'm not very excited about it because I know the weather patterns in southern region of Africa, the El Nino effect is gonna be getting worse. We shouldn't. I know we might have rains this year and think, this and that. To be honest, the projection is that we're gonna get drier and drier and drier and drier. So let's move away from this hydro thing. Let's start investing in alternative energy, wind power and solar power. That's my take on that one.
Right, Mr. Mad.
My take in Bemba we say that mulonga uzula vunkumunkumu. Wachanda, can you explain that one? Mulonga uzula vunkumunkumu in Bemba. That's what we say.
Mulonga, what is it? A fish?
Mulonga uzula vunkumunkumu. That's what we say in Bemba. Wachanda, can you explain that one?
Which chanda? Maybe Bakazia can know.
Wachanda Kazia. Mulonga uzula vunkumunkumu.
Is that Toka?
Ati akamana keshula panono panono.
Yeah, that's in Bemba now. You have gone in. I told you in Tonga. How do you say it? So the 40 whatever megawatts of power that will be generated, it will go ahead to. Can I use a very advanced word? To ameliorate. To ameliorate the situation, to help maybe the smallest of a problem that can be solved. That small power that is being generated will go a long way to mitigate the negative effects of load shedding. Load shedding is, if we are to talk about it now, we would spend the whole day. But we thank whoever came up with that idea especially to finish it up. Someone came with an idea to start it. It was never started. It was never finished. But I don't know who's to be thanked most, the one who started it or the one who has finished this off.
Let's just do both. How about let's be fair? Both. We thank both.
We thank God. Okay.
We thank
Thank
both,
God.
the starter and the finisher. Shall we?
Yes.
Somebody started and then somebody thought, well, let's finish it. So.
Because government is a continuous thing. I mean, there's no way that you cannot continue investments from the previous government or whatever was happening in the previous. It's a continuous process. So even if the UPND moves away, a different government comes.
And in which province is it?
Northwestern.
Now I'm going to talk. I'm going to change now. So what someone was saying that I'm good today. Now I'm going to change. Previously, development was inclined to an ethnic area where a president was coming from. But now see what is happening. Northwestern province, no president comes from there, no vice president comes from there, but there's such development. Previously, you would hear only somewhere in some area in the east would have developments of such kinds. But now development is being spread evenly, even to places where the top 4 or the top 2 is not there. We are seeing development here, real development, which is even spread before our own eyes. It's not a biased development where they would say, if you don't support us, we shall not, if you don't vote for us, we shall not vote for you. So it's, to me, this is a fairest way of distributing wealth in a nation, where you have things being looked at not from political lenses. This development is economically correct. Previously, we used to have developments that were politically correct, which was very unfair. But now it's flat. Thank you.
Yes, let's just add on. Master batteries will be reopened in 2025. They will be doing electric batteries and solar power systems as well. Just adding on to Mr. Macha's thoughts, where production and development is being spread across the country. So definitely,
has that been announced? I missed that one.
Don't say it's being spread across the. No.
Yeah, it's just been announced.
Madam, a point of correction.
Yeah.
Don't say it's being spread across the country. It's being done methodically.
Okay.
Because
all right.
we tapped on the issue of master batteries. I remember, and the chiefs actually, when he went through, I think it was actually last week. Yeah, last week, maybe 2, 3, 4 days ago, when it was in Kurapula, the chiefs, they actually said or asked to say, can you open up master batteries again? It was a request, and me, like I can tell you, like I've been there. I actually went. One of my friends was living somewhere there, so he invited us when we were school kids. They were on holiday, so we went there. And he
can you speak up, man?
Yeah, Tambalengumfo.
No, your mic is very low.
Yeah, ngatuishi mareflectika lero. So, twafika kumansa kulia, and I was with my friend. He told me that, look, Chanda, eyo baleta ti Mansa battery.
Spark.
But it also spark. I think quite a spark compound. Spark compound. Okay. So when I went there to Afghanistan, this was like, but yeah, it was just a ruin at that point. It was just like a building, a factory. There's nothing there. It's my building, like whatever was remaining was there. And I was looking to myself, I was like, because I remember when I was a kid, my batteries, yes, my D. I think that was, we used to call them, I think they call it D now, right? Yeah, but spark. It was written spark those days. If you have to power your car radio, you also have a radio.
Spark. What I read now, yellow.
So, Africa could this is what it was. This is what it was. And compound, a huge compound. They built a very huge compound for the workers. Okay, very huge compound for the workers. And then those workers now, everybody walk over to know, but they got nothing to do now. But look at this. Why was Spark or Mansa batteries in Kumansa? Why was it built there? To stop because of manganese. So all these years we've known that tuwalikuwa manganese. We've had manganese all these years, but what have we done with it? Nothing. Nothing. So why don't we produce batteries? Why don't we do this? Why don't we, like, these are the issues or the things that abantu mwine Zambia alifo kuipisha kuli batiyo nishu mwalimu power fishi mwale tonton kanya kwa hivyo huemba vya manganizi mwa sample kuiporesha. Okay? Or did you ever think to say, can we produce something, a factory, could add value to our product? Mama.
Value addition. Value addition.
Can we add value to our product? Other than add value. And add value is this was done way back. Blueprint kaunda alimipere. Amipera kaunda. Mwafiro kushta maintain. That's why we are where we are now.
In conclusion.
No. Yeah, not yet. Can I conclude as a geographer now?
I haven't commented on this one, and I need to comment.
Yes, let me comment now. May I comment as a geographer?
And then we'll go to our beloved resident Piers.
As a geographer, when I'm teaching my pupils about in geography, they are what we call as the locational factors for industries. One of them is proximity to raw materials, and that it can be of a great advantage if you were to locate the industry that will use the raw materials in the area where the raw materials are. That's a locational factor, proximity to industry. The other locational factor for industry is that it can be a political decision to spread development. They will just say, rain or shine, whether you like it or yes, utaanda Bologe, there will be a battery factory plant in Mansa. Some decisions are made like that. Location of politicians can decide so that maybe they get a vote or they spread development. I yield.
Beloved Piers.
I think you have a problem with one kind of comment where there's an indication that the previous government, and more important, previous governments, they've just been developing where they come from. I do not think that is right, and it should even be encouraged. because that is far from the truth. If you
Who
see,
said
it never
that?
came from
Who
Wapula
said that?
province.
Who said that?
I'm just
No, let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead, my
Go ahead.
resident. Yes.
No, you can go ahead, Wakazi.
Bakazia, what has
huh?
happened?
Go ahead. Don't talk about the
Luapula. What?
Go ahead, Bakazia. You have the
Am I
floor.
allowed to finish? Yes. Luapula, Western Province. They were ranked. The Luapula, Northwestern, and Western Province were ranked the poorest, despite having a president from there. The infrastructure which was done in the country was across everybody, everywhere. The economic push factors for each and every region were taken into consideration when making the infrastructure. For instance, the Kazungura Bridge, the Mungu Kalabo Bridge, the Petauke into consideration based on the economic factors. So the assertion that the infrastructure development, in as far as things were concerned, were on the issue of the mining, that the manganese mine and everything else, you may wish to know that manganese was only surveyed by Dr. Sixas Mulenga in Luapula in the last 10 years. That is when he surveyed, he came to define the resource, and that's when he get the investors. I was on the mining and advisory committee when Dr. Sixas Mulenga was getting his exploration license to go and explore for manganese in Luapula province. Beyond that, yes, I was a small one, but it wasn't anything that was to go by. The large-scale manganese mine has come as a result of Dr. Sixas Mulenga's work. Chair, I submit.
Amen.
Wakazia, let's not mislead the public. Ngatwaisa panopa forum. Let's give people.
I can't hear you, Changa.
No, let's give the people the right information. Okay? Because Iria Shimwalaitai, you're saying for the last 10 years, that's when we discovered manganese. That's a joke. Because the manganese.
Maybe you did not hear me. I did not say the last 10 years. I'm saying the large scale manganese, which you making reference to in terms of the mining. It has been discovered by Dr. Sixas Mulenga in its Funaburi. They were the president went to open the mine. Yes.
Previously,
But here's the thing. Manganese was already established and known. Dr. Kaunda had the map of where all the minerals were sitting in this country. Okay? So when they built Mansa batteries, Yare Pangama Spark batteries, they knew they didn't just go there for just a commercial sake. They knew why they were building that factory there. It's because
correct. My cousin, in 1974, was working for a manganese.
Okay, so they already knew that. They already knew that this is where it is and where it is. In order for us to build on it, let's build a company so that in Gafiaf Mama raw materials, we're able to produce parapene within
100% correct.
And add value to Emma battery at whatever this size battery. Mwawika mchirimba must yale kokora. You see? No, well, beautiful batteries better than ama energizer. Yeah, energizer. If you know ama energizer batteries, they last long. Okay? FYR is spark batteries. FYR. It's because of the manganese. And this is long time ago. Kale. So, and 10 years ago, even, it's something that somebody just woke up and just built on what was already there. Okay? So let's not cheat abantu even Zambia. Tuyaba bepa. Even abantu kumansa bale umfono kunkwa patredani. Wenda mwe bantu akwalisa. Awe twalishi bakayati.
Thank you, Bachirufia, for clarifying that. I wanted to chip in on that one because my cousin was working for a manganese mine in 1974. Kale, 10 years ago. We knew about manganese in Wapula for a long time, in Kaunda's time.
All right, shall we move on to the next topic? Actually, we need to be winding up now because it's been 2 hours. Shall we now talk about the let's see here. I think we are finished with all the topics. Moya, could you have a topic out to share up? Oh, I don't think we should talk about. Yeah, that we spoke about Kasanengwa last week, if you remember.
Kalengwa, madam. Kalengwa, please. Kasanengwa is a constituent.
Oh God!
It was Kasanengwa.
Kasanengwa is a constituency.
Is that the copper mine? What do you? I mean,
Kalengwa is a different mine that was closed 45 years ago. 45 years ago.
Awe 50 na fiabu 50 mrefu ukulandi. Itakuwa 45 years ago. That one is not true.
The mine was closed 45 years ago.
No, but it was reopened.
No. The mine was closed.
How do you want to argue with facts that are there?
No, but here's the thing.
Can you present your facts?
I even know why you're saying that.
Wachanda.
If you know why, that is good. At least you know why, because that is not true. Address my why since you know.
Kavindele gave a
Wachanda says he knows why I have said that. So I want him to address my why. Let him address my why.
Good. Very good question. Now, Kalengwa mine.
We don't have a lot of time, so you have 2 minutes to answer everything. Then we'll move on to the next speaker.
Kalengwa is one of the. It's going to be one of the largest copper mine in Northwest. You know that. So, what happened was that is it's well known for rich copper, but it was closed 45 years ago. Okay, there wasn't any official mining happening there. The only thing that was happening there was unofficial, which was leading to the very secretly, especially
undocumented
mine. And what they were doing is they were going there secretly to mine and fund the PS government. And they were around to Zambia, but I went to can we have a savior? So the savior came. I said, we're going to open it up and we're going to make it public. Not to last me, but secretly, that's what was happening.
Can I give my side of the story, Bate?
Bachelofia, are you done?
I'm done.
No, okay.
Let me give my side.
In this order. We'll go with the resident peers, then Dr. Lifani from Mr. Mata will wrap everything up.
3 minutes each. 3 minutes each.
I will reserve my other 2 minutes to have a minute to rebuttal to anything. I will just give you one quick example. The mine was not closed 45 years ago. The mine was reopened. The matters were in court, in and out. And that is why the president referred to say that he directed someone to go and take the matter out of the court so that he can open the mine officially like he did. This is the official opening of the mine. That does not mean that the mine was closed. It was not functional. The mine was gotten, it started operating, then people took each other to court. So that is the context under which I'm telling you to say 45 years does not rise. Actually doing the mining there. Only that they were taking each other to court, in and out. You see, that is what I'm telling you. But if you want to choose that the mine was closed,
mwarebe mikuba ba PF mure mkuiva ubushiku mwaya mkuiva
facts are there. Oh,
ba PF barebe mikuba kuja.
I submit.
That's what they were doing.
All
That's
right,
what they were
one person at a time, please. Dr. Aliswaniso.
The mine was stolen by PF. They were mining using their surrogates and pocketing the money. That was what operational we're talking about. That is
how can that be an argument? That is not what I'm talking about. That is so raw. So you mean now the UPND surrogates have taken it over?
Can I finish? When you are talking, nobody intercepted. What was happening, the government was not getting money out of that mine because the mine, that's what Kavindere said. Kavindere clearly said the government was not benefiting out of this mine. That mine was a cow for a clique of people that were benefiting out of that mine. So to say the government of Zambia was benefiting out of mine is not true. That's why now we have taken it over. Now the Zambian people are going to benefit out of that mine. I submit.
100%.
Mr. Maja.
The Zambian people are going to benefit by that mine because there will be taxes which that mine will be paying, and the royalties they will come. And at least it will have a spillover effect to the Zambians. I know. Noma mlevo ande wafe kwati ni ba UPND yonse nanga nafoya kuchinja nine. So so with this new mine being opened, at least there will be a new company that will be paying tax to the government. But my word of caution is, may these mines pay the real money, not being given tax holidays, and then Zambians are heavily taxed. That's the only way we can get relief from tax. I tell you, we are.
Again, I didn't hear that. Can you say it again?
Whatever you heard, I've said it again.
All right. Let's move on.
Before you conclude, Bakalinda, Lamasha, here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
Tax holidays. Okay. What Zambia has now adopted is what every other mining countries are doing. Okay. The before this was only situated. The investor, it was very hard for an investor to come and mine. Now look at the investment. Mwe bantu bakwalesa nira ida bamwe balelanda fi
bamungwingwi
balelanda kulanda kusabaira fi. These tax holidays, if you go to big companies or big countries like Chile that were toe to toe at one point in the 60s, a mining practice, that's what they've carried on. Look at all these other mineral manufacturing countries. If we from Zambia, even Congo up next door. Okay? Congo produces more copper than Zambia, when Zambia was toe to toe with Chile at one point in the 60s. Why? Because of the same policies over there that abantu bonse muchalo
in conclusion
muchalo
bachirufya muleke ko conclude
conclusion muchalo
bachirufya but I have a question. I have a question.
What's your question, Kazia?
But I have a question.
1 minute rebuttal.
It's just a question. You see, one of the things that is so disastrous for ourselves as Zambians is where we think that an investor can come to build our country. Investors don't build their country, they get money for more, they make more profit. These are venture capitalists. If we don't have a share in it, forget about it. If we do not have a share in it, forget about it. This mine match, for your information, is for Zambians, I presume. These are Zambians who we must give tax incentives. The Zambian miners, Zambian entrepreneurs, they're the ones that deserve tax incentives, not foreign. If you give tax incentives to foreigners, you are killing yourselves. PF, so I don't UPND. If it is Zambians that it has to benefit, benefit Zambians, not foreigners. We have gone to the so much to reduce as Zambians to a point where we see if it is a UPND, he's not a Zambian, he's UPND. If it's PF is not Zambian. When are we going to start talking about it?
In conclusion.
In conclusion. Kuti wasekana okuseka kwati you know,
never existed, and we should not be promoting you fee. Let's be factual.
Yeah, I think he's fishing somewhere in Prince Edward's Island, wherever he is today, because great. Now shall we go to the rant? Because we are already half an hour over my budget for the time. Oh, by the way, before we do that, let me actually answer to Atnanu Chanda Chimbala. Why the fake? Do I have a fake accent? Do I? I'm assuming he's talking about me. Voice too loud. Sorry, I was born this way. If I'm too loud, how about you send me your address? I'll send you some earplugs. That will be my answer for you.
That's too rude. That's too rude. That's too rude, please. Yeah, that's too rude. That's too crude.
What should I say?
You should have just said. You should have just said. No, you should have just said you have a hearing disorder. That's why you speak loud.
That's
So
even
you
worse.
want to understand this. You have a hearing disorder. So whenever you talk, you want to hear yourself talk. At least that's more polite. Sending earplugs is too rude. Can you withdraw that statement?
Very nice. If I say, I don't have that problem, that means I'm lying. And I can't lie.
Yeah, you can lie. It's okay. At least we can cover that lie of yours.
No, I refuse.
It can be covered.
I refuse. Okay,
You
my
refuse.
apologies, but I was born this way, so I can't control myself. Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, do I have an accent? I don't think so. But anyway, every one of us have an accent, don't we?
I have a Tonga accent.
We all have accents.
Acquire certain accents.
Environment changes you.
All right. Right now,
our brothers and sisters in Zambia, they don't understand it because you're trying to. No, that's not what it is. Sometimes you're in a certain environment, you have to talk in a certain way so that the certain people can understand you.
You have to flow. You have to flow with the environment.
So it's not our fault, people that live in the diaspora, but it happens sometimes.
I can help you. I can help you on that point. I've just started living in the diaspora. It helps you to be confident. In the diaspora, if you're not confident, you won't get what you want. Just from your accent, they can tell, say, this one knows what they are looking for, and they will attend to you. Not if you're so they won't hear it. But, they are born to hear certain words in their natural way, the way they are said here. So if I say with the practical, I have a problem.
Practical.
Practical. I have a problem. I have a problem. Who's going to understand you here? I've got a problem. Quick, they'll understand you. It's practical. Come on.
All right.
That's the way to go.
Let's not even go there. As long as Rachanda Chimbala, understand what we're saying. We're good. All right, now shall we go to my favorite of the week? And that's the Rant. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first?
I want to go first because I have many rants.
Let's go, Doc.
The first one, I've already mentioned it briefly. I think as a country, we need to start investing seriously in alternative energy. Our environment is not favoring us right now. We have to start thinking seriously about wind and solar energy. If not, we'll continue regretting year in, year out. The second rant I have is about our village folks that will now be going to jail for stealing a goat or a chicken. I think it's too hard for our president to do that. We know people that have stolen millions of dollars from Zambian people. They're still walking free in the streets. And for my cousin in the village who's going to be going to jail for stealing a chicken, I think it's very unfair. I know it's symbolic for good deeds and people behaving well when they steal farm animals or chickens or something like that. But I think it's too harsh on the rural folks to say when you steal a goat, you would not be bailed out until your case is discharged. And in the meantime, we see the thieves that have stolen millions and millions of dollars. They're arrested in the morning, in the afternoon, they're out on bail. And then my cousin, after stealing a goat, you will not be able to come out of jail until whatever. It's not fair. To me, it's not right. We have a star, Barbara Banda. Nobody's talking about it. A star is born. She's taken a team that has never won this championship. They've won it for the first time, and nobody's talking about it in Zambia. She's really, really, really good. She has put Zambia on the market, on the world map, and we need to celebrate that as Zambians. Barbara Banda is awesome. She's now #1 world woman soccer player. She's the Messi of this world. So please, let's celebrate our fellow country lady with pride. Okay, so I'm watching her. I don't miss all her games. And I watched the final, lifting the cup. She's awesome. She's awesome. And let's pay attention to some of these achievements she's achieved on our behalf. Finally, Man City. What happened? That was a shock. I don't think they've ever received that type of beating at home. So that's my last rant. It is. I don't know whether any one of us is a Man City supporter, but it was really, really, really bad to see them being hit 4-0.
It was sweet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sumptuous.
No, those are my few rants I have.
Right. Bachelor, what's your rant for the day or for the week?
For the week, yeah. Look, I think I'm going to tap on one thing. The previous speaker talked about, which is the law on stealing. I think it needs to be revisited and looked into, because certain items, like you steal a chicken and then you're going to be in prison for just crowding those facilities for nothing. I think what the current government needs to do, or if the ministers or whoever is in charge in whatever department that is, they need to revise certain laws and say, look, if somebody steals a chicken, it is not worth the government time and money, okay, to convict you for 6 months. They would rather take you and convict you.
We can't hear you,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Chilufya today. His volume is just, I don't know.
Chilufya bought this high-end microphone.
voice.
No, it starts off very absolutely wonderful,
I
bright.
think the
and then he
technology
goes
bot,
down.
the
It
technology bot needs some tweaking or something.
maybe.
Yeah, it needs to be bought. Amazon, casual. So, what I was saying was this: the law on stealing needs to be revisited. And the reason I'm saying is this: umuntu ngaiba chicken. If you steal a chicken, they cage you for 6 months. Why not get those people? And the government should utilize certain cases, very small cases like that. Put them into the system and start working. The city council, corrections facility, they need to combine themselves and say, look, we need community worker. But conviction will be community work. Bakupera na uniform ngachine cha green or cha blue or cha red. Why should you muntu you? But this is what you're doing. But can you start cleaning up, mopping up the city of Lusaka? Because it's dirty. The city is dirty. But what are we doing about it? They say, oh, we don't have the funds. Oh, somebody, if you commit a crime, use those people to do those jobs so that the city is clean. Because we don't have the money right now. Okay? Can anybody think about it and say, look, can we utilize what much more cases like that? Okay? And convict them. No, every month, watch uniform, watambo kupianga. That's your conviction. Other than just to go and crowd it when you don't even need people there. I mean, it's already crowded.
It's
So
a
that's what I'm
custodial.
saying, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, look, can we revisit our laws? Yeah, for small crimes. Can our judges, even them, when they're passing those sentences, say, no. This is just like why ever donut at all 6 months? No. So at EUA, just now, if I think, you should be reporting every day to wherever you are in the community, Lusaka City Council. You go and report. Barakupera uniform. Let's make the city clean. And the only way we're gonna do it is by utilizing this kind of issues, other than to get money from donors that case. That's why the city of Lusaka will get forever debt.
All right.
Can I?
Bakasi, Masha, what's your rant for this for today?
Yeah, I'm ranting alongside the lines of Chanda, where we have congested prisons, and everyone who goes there, especially if they're in the political world, what they will say first is, hey, the prisons are congested. You know, my room is very small. Fidia. It's called the Mulima Chipuva. Mwadi umfapo yo dizo, ndi mtonga but nalishika sana chiwemba ka. Mulima Chipuva.
Yeah, I know that one. Perama farm a long time ago.
Not that one. But Wachanda Babidi, Mulima Chipuva. Can you explain that in your language? What does it mean? Wachanda Mulima Chipuva. Iwala yale kwate mfumo. Ile wale itati Mulima Chipuva. You remember what it was? Hello?
Me, I don't know if Vagazia is here, but me, what I know is
he's gone fishing.
Oh, he's gone fishing. Yeah, me, what I know about it is like they give you a line, you have to work for whatever. Like you're kuya mkulima. No, they are not going to be paid, but kuya mkulima for whatever crime you did, you have to go and
no, it was like this. They would say the chief always at the court at his palace. So if you're found with a case to answer before the court, you are not taken to prison, but there's a field where you would be assigned with work to do, and everyone would see you do that work. And whoever is seen
they call it community service here.
Whoever is seen doing that work would be called a Chipuva Chiria. It's the one that broke the law. That's why he's working in that field. Mulima Chipuva. And that field would be maybe for maize, would be for cassava. Then at a time when there's hunger or people have no food, that food would be distributed to those needy homes. Mulima Chipuva. Community service. It can work. That's my rant number 1. My rant number 2. 2025 is just next year. And 2026 is the voting year. The registrar of societies with the political parties that are mushrooming, could we have a way where there is an updated list so that we don't have the Kawambwa incidents? Where you have this, even the PF thing, let it be sorted out so that it's dead and buried. We want to know who holds power. This alliance, what? This PF, this what? This side. Can things be put straight? Let things be put straight so that by 2026, voters are not exposed to confusion in political parties. We need to have decided even long before elections. Said this party is organized based on what we are given. The raw materials that we are going to be given. The raw materials we are going to be given for this electoral industry should be started to be sorted out now. Not at the end, no, this party has been deregistered, this party has been registered, this party has what? Please let that, no, this chief registrar of society has resigned. Let's not have that. We want true raw materials presented to the voters before elections. Material that is good enough. I think only the best is good enough for Zambia. What do you think, Mwewantu?
I think they have a grace period when this party.
My Rant.
No, you went away. You lost your chance. I think there is a.
You can never say that, Dwani. How do you say that? How can I lose my chance? You.
He's a dictator.
Yeah.
Dictator.
You want to follow? Are you following? Are you following footsteps? Anyway, I'll end there now.
Footsteps of Chagwa.
Someone else is never that. Chagwa is never that. He's a Democrat, pure Democrat. So that's a fact. No matter what you say, that is just a fact. Now, my rant is two. One is to support what Dr. Danny has said, in as far as making sure that we transition into energy sources that are more sustainable, and also to support him, to also support the Rant that you can't have big criminals go away with anything. People even sharing money from procured consent judgments, and they are still free. They make a lot of millions around that, and they are still free. They are not being investigated. They are not going to face any court. So for me, I'm saying, let's see justice be justice. If it's a political figure who commits a crime, let's treat them the same way we're going to treat any other offender. But of course, for the people stealing a chicken and you give them 10 years, it doesn't make sense to me. And these are some of the pitfalls that even politicians create for themselves. Remember the Nani Bele case on the motor vehicle theft. It came to bite people later on. This is exactly what I see. Oh, you have hate crime, you have hate speech. They want to give you 20 years, 7 years. These things are not going to really help us start. So then my own rant is the issue of the interest rates, the monetary policy adjustment by the Bank of Zambia. I think that needs to be watched very, very carefully. It's going to bury small-scale industries completely. It's not a very fair thing to do. Government needs to find a way of managing that process. It's really going to squeeze money out of our economy, and I don't know how our small scale and to medium enterprise are going to survive The last one is on power. Please, can we make sure that you sort out the issues to do with energy so that barber shops, saloons can get back to business. People need to start working. So that is my rant for this week.
All right. So here is my rant. I have 3 rants today. Well, actually, I just wanted one.
Arsenal.
Oh, well, I'm not even there yet. The first one is on. I don't share everybody's views on those cattle rustlers. That's what we call them in my mother's village in Lugwalo, as well as my dad's village in Shikatende. If you've lived in the village, it's the same people that are stealing this cattle from these people, and it takes time to just take care of the cattle, and then just when you think, somebody wakes up in the middle of the night and steal that musune away from you. It's really aggravating. That's our pride for some of us. I bought 5 heads of cattle, and I was actually being proud, growing well, and then I get a report just when they go to 10 that all of them were stolen at 9. I put in so much money in those heads of cattle for somebody just to walk away and then go sell in Lusaka at the butchery for less amount of money that I put into that. So I say, government, I love this review. The new law, you are caught 14 years maximum. I love it, because before they would go for 6 months, they come back and they still do the same thing, because to them, 6 months was nothing. So maybe this time 14 years will teach them a lesson. Yeah, like the president says, by the time they're out, their wives would have had 3 babies or 4 babies along the way. So I'm absolutely, as somebody affected and whose heritage is cattle, I said, yes, 14 years minimum. Go for it. That's one. Number 2, interest rates. I don't know. I don't understand it, because personally, I buy treasury bonds from the Bank of Zambia, and some months the rates are absolutely wonderful. Last month they killed us, and then this month it's good news. So yeah, I'm right there with Machanda Kazia. We really need to be consistent, especially if you're a loan investor like me. I need to be sure when I put my money that I'm gonna get whatever interest rates that I need to get every month. And now for the grand finale.
Chair. On the interest rates, Chair, the bite is on the local, not an investor. Like you, an investor, you will love that. But a person who is going to borrow locally to invest locally is not going to help him in any way. So a Zambian investor is kaputted. Anyone who is foreign exchange is going to make money. So a Zambian investor to create that, it's not going to happen.
Vamutinta, can I just say something to your point?
Yes.
Kaloni na kwete pa payslip kafuiro kupwa in the next 4 months. Can you guess a good news?
It's been extended for another 4 months.
No, another year.
That's what I'm talking about.
For me.
So Bamacha. Bamacha, so you're paying more now.
Yes, I'm paying more. But my sister is getting more. But my sister
but I'm saying
more.
like that's why I'm telling you to say.
I'm not getting more. I just don't like the way
I'm saying if you are a local investor like you, Bamacha, you will pay more. But an outsider will pay less.
Yes.
Even. So
There's
how
no
is
way
that an
back from-
advantage?
I'm paying more right now. I'm a local investor, even if I'm not in
Yes.
Zambia. I'm a local investor. I'm paying more.
But the point is, it suffocates the local investment. It doesn't promote it. So if the view is that let's suffocate the local investment, then the policy works well, very good. It's a very good policy to suffocate it. But if you want to encourage it and grow it, then that is the wrong thing to do. But if it is about suffocating it, shrinking it, then that's perfect. So maybe I'm getting a wrong vibe. Like, no, it's about stifling it.
Perfect in what sense?
No, but yeah, we are right there with you. Me, I'm right there. I mean, I'm not on this bandwagon of interest rates.
The government wants to attract big money into the country. Big money.
That is the truth.
Can I finish?
Big money.
Can I finish?
Finish.
Okay. Right now, Bachanda, I'll give you an opportunity. Give me right now 900 million. You local investor, give me 900 million. I want to invest in Mwanza batteries.
Want me to answer you?
No, don't answer.
But you're asking me a question.
I haven't finished. Let me finish and then I'll tell you to answer. The thing is this. Right now, I'll give you an example, a practical example. Right from outside, as we speak today, what they have done is what Zambia has done. That's what Canada has done right now. They want money from investors in Saudi Arabia. They want money. They want big money to come into Canada. Countries have priorities at any one time. Right now in Zambia, we need an input of big money coming from outside. We understand we have our small scale businessmen in Chawama and everything there, but we need to grow our economy. And to grow our economy, we need big money. At the same time, those big investors that are going to come to our country are going to employ the people in Chawama and everything like that. So we cannot serve two purposes at the same time. We want big money. Right now, we have to inject big money into our economy. That's what we need. Canada is doing that right now. And Trump said that, and is doing that. That's the way the economies grow.
Oh, okay. The goodness, Vasmwana, you are very right that you're going to invest. There is no country that can grow from employment payments. There is no country where you are going to employ and say the people that you have employed are going to grow the economy.
You have changed the topic.
No, I have not changed the topic. What I'm trying to tell you, let me explain. Let me explain to you what I meant when I said. Let me explain to you, because what I see is that you are speaking the truth, but not understanding probably where I'm coming from. What I'm saying is that yes, you want to bring big money, but at whose expense? At your local. You, if I want, Bamacha, who is saying that now his interest is now going to pay for the next 1 year. It means if he wants to have a chicken run, it will not happen. You understand? So you're going to bring big investors that are going to make big money on you. That is what it means. Yes, they'll come and they'll make big money. They will not make small money.
What's the overall effect on the country?
That is what it has. What is the overall effect?
Will grow.
The economy doesn't grow, but the economy has never grown that way. There is no economy that grows that way. There is no economy that grows that way. The economy. Let me finish. Stop interjecting me. Stop interjecting me. Can you computula when you are speaking? You say what is your problem? The country does not grow from external. It grows from internal. Externals will come, yes, they will come to make money. And when they make money, they are going. It grows from internal. If you capacitate your people to invest, then they can grow.
From China, yes, last year, and the economy grew. The US economy grew.
Which one?
Trump.
The US will grow without China. You understand? It will still grow.
Outside. Let's meet outside the ring.
And you see, you forget that the US prints money to give you. So even China, they'll just print and give them.
On that
Yeah.
note, until next week, like it happens every other week.
Outside the
faith.
ring, let's meet. Let's meet
Keep the
outside the
faith.
boxing ring.